John's fun house, lights are spinning bright. Crazy, wacky game show, every inbox inside. Welcome to John's fun house. Go on, take a chance. Who's the goat of email marketing? Who's the goat of email marketing?
Welcome to John's Fun House. So this is the only game show on the internet stupid enough to put email marketing's biggest names through some absolute carnage to find out one thing: who is the GOAT of email marketing? So if you are new here, this is how it works. We have 5 contestants through the series and we have 7 challenges. Each week we put a different contestant through the same ridiculous fun rounds. And at the end, the leaderboard will decide who truly is the GOAT of email marketing. The pressure will be on you, Laura, here at the end, because there is a section called Gunge or GOAT. Now, I'm obviously going to put you through some challenges and you are going to get your chance to get back at me at the end by answering 5 questions. If you get all 5 correct, that bucket is filled with green slime and will be chucked over my head. So you will have a chance to get some revenge. The idea of this show here is to blow away all the smoke and mirrors nonsense to prove that marketing doesn't have to be boring. It can be fun and silly and personality based. I am your host, John McKee, the founder of Goat Email Marketing, and this is my fun house. So this is my house and my rules. So before we begin, I must say that this series is sponsored by ActiveCampaign, email platform trusted by over 180,000 businesses worldwide. So if you are serious about email marketing, ActiveCampaign is a fantastic platform to use. So let's recap. In episode 1, we had Alex Catoni, who scored 24.5 points, obviously putting her at the top. She was the only one there. In episode 2, we saw Kennedy sneak ahead with 26 points. And in episode 3, we had Matt Hall, who slotted between with a respectable 25 points. But can today's guest mix up the leaderboard? Today's contestant graduated from university and then did what any ambitious young writer decided to do, was head straight to the bar and become a bartender. And then one day, one of her friends was like, why don't you come do a writing job? And you were like, didn't realize that's a job. And it was, which then led to writing for channels like Nickelodeon, Bravo, NBC, HBO, and has been writing words that appear on our TVs for over 20 years. And then thought, paying clients are exhausting. So she stopped taking them and charging a very, very large amount of money per hour, and instead decided to do her own thing and build a $1 million one-person business. She co-created the Copy Core with Marie Forleo and co-scripted MarieTV, which had 48 million views, then wrote a national best-selling book that her own husband had called Loser, Sex and the City. Welcome to the Fun House. It is the one and only Laura Belgray.
Thank you, John.
Thank you so much for coming on. Are you kind of prepared for whatever chaos is coming, or are you just...
No, I'm fully unprepared, but I am prepared to come out with the lowest score, and that's okay, because you know what? I can still be the GOAT of email marketing, even if I'm not the GOAT of game show style interview.
Nice. Yeah, great. You're setting yourself up.
Yes, okay. I am. Preemptively.
Into segment number 1. So this is the yes/no game. Very simple. I am going to ask you, Laura, several questions in a rapid fire manner. You just have to answer with one word. However, that word cannot be yes or no. You will start with 5 points. With every one you get wrong, you will lose a point. So hopefully, let's just get through and maintain the 5 points. Are we ready to go?
I guess so.
Okay, cool. Question number 1. Do you think email marketing is the most important skill in business?
Absolutely.
Did you enjoy writing tough titties?
Somewhat.
Was your husband right to call it Loser, Sex and the City?
Absolutely.
Should every entrepreneur learn copywriting first?
Perhaps.
Can you drive any vehicle in any capacity?
Questionable.
Were you really a bartender?
Also questionable.
Were you a terrible bartender?
Undoubtedly.
Have you ever sent an email that's made you feel physically sick looking back on it? Do you think you have any chance of winning this game show?
Exponentially.
You made it through the questions. You have maintained maximum points, Laura. It's a great start. It is a great start. It's 5 points for round number 1. So segment number 2 is GOAT or go home. So here's where we're going to talk about the actual tactics. I'm going to throw some email or marketing tactics at you, and I want you to know if they are still here, present and goated, or if it's time for them to go home. So this is the stuff that really works now, or the stuff that's way outdated. So what do you feel about using swipe files and templates to write your emails?
To me, that's always been go home, except you can use parts of the swipe. For instance, if I am doing an affiliate promotion, I want to see that swipe. I want to take little pieces of it, but I am never doing a fill in the blanks, Mad Libs kind of thing. And I always recognize it when somebody did. So
yeah, that's true. I guess there's so much of it out there as well. It's like you're going to come across it more than once.
yeah. And I'm pro originality. Like if you're a good email marketer, if you write good emails, then you don't use swipes. You don't fill in the blank. You don't do Mad Libs. You create your own structure. You can use frameworks. Frameworks I believe in, say something about this here, then something about this here, then something about this here. Sure. But the words should be yours.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. So actually this probably leads nicely to the next one then. So writing emails as if you're talking to a friend.
Absolutely go.
Yeah, absolutely go.
I mean, what do we look for in our inbox but something that looks personal, that pops out from all the direct, that looks like it's from a business? When people say, like, what if I'm B2B? I'm like, there's no such thing as a B2B email, because businesses can't write and businesses can't read. It's one person to one person. And do we want someone who's icy and distant and formal and buttoned up? No, we want to hear from somebody who's friendly. So it doesn't have to be your best friend, but it should be a friend.
Yeah, I love that. That is so good. What is your take on using webinars as a sales tool?
I am pro webinars as a sales tool. I'm late to the game, so it might not be as GOAT as it once was. I wish I had jumped on that bandwagon back when it was absolute GOAT. 100%. Like, especially if you're selling something that's been around for a while. Gotta keep it fresh with, pull them in with something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And give people a taste of you live, because just the emails alone are great, especially if you're great at writing them and can write in a personable way and share your personality and point of view and all of that. But people need a chance to hear your voice and see your face.
Yeah, it is so true. I think this is why people, when they go to like in-person events, they're like, oh, you're that person that was doing those emails. And then it's like an instant connection that brings that whole kind of like picture together.
Exactly. And then they really hear your voice when they're reading your words, your actual voice.
Yeah, 100%. So the last one, this is a bit of a controversial one. Sales calls to close high ticket clients.
For me, I'm sure that's still GOAT for some people, but I have never done sales calls, and I don't like being on the receiving end of sales calls. I hear the pitch. I hear the script. I hear the, tactics to overcome objections. I can hear all of that in the sales call. I hear the training and I don't like it. Yeah.
What advice would you give someone watching this if they were feeling the same way you are? Because obviously a lot of people are pushed that way. Like, you can only get high ticket sales if you are getting on sales calls and you're doing this. Like, what advice would you give to someone in that position?
I would say don't necessarily skip it, because some people do great with sales calls. And I will tell you something, actually. I'm going to reverse a little bit on this, because I just plunked down $5,000 really fast when I had just a free call with somebody. Her name is Deb. She's an intuition teacher, coach, something that I would in the past would never imagine myself going for. But I was just in that mood, and somebody recommended her in their email, somebody I trust. And so I signed up for her, like 30 minutes of magic or whatever, 20 minutes of magic for free, and knew that it was probably that most discovery calls are sales calls, but I didn't feel pitched to at all. It was really her working with me, exploring something. And I felt seen by her, and I felt like, oh, I want to work with this person. And she did at the end, tell me the options for moving forward if I wanted to, but it didn't feel like a pitch. So if it goes like that, I am pro sales call, like
Yeah.
someone to get to know you a little bit and feel seen by you, feel like working with you is a great idea. Like they want more of this. Awesome.
Yeah.
So a
I love
sample,
that. Yeah,
a
definitely.
sample. Yeah.
Okay, so the point scoring for that round is again a maximum of 5 points. Now, all you had to do there was answer genuinely and give us some really good tidbits there. And I think there was some really, really good bits in there because I think, I keep saying this about sales calls, but there is a lot around that with people who struggle with it. And to hear that from someone like yourself. So maximum 5 points again. So you're racking these points up, Laura. I don't know what you're worried about. Okay. So our next segment here is predict the future. So this is really important for the viewers because this is where they want to be getting the latest insights and methods and whatever you want to call it from some of the best minds that are in this business right now. So from your angle, I guess, Laura, like what everyone wants to know is like, what is that hot take of maybe what's working now compared to what it was or what's not working anymore? And then like, where do you see this going from an email marketing angle as well? Like, what could you see arguably over the next like 12 to 18 months happening and that people probably need to be watching out for or always be, I don't know, mindful of, I guess?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, one thing that I've seen overused over and over that maybe used to work and I think no longer definitely doesn't work on me, though I don't know anyone's stats who is doing this, is using the first name in the subject line in an uncreative way. John, you're not going to believe this. John, something to tell you. You're going to love this deal, John. No. You can I do believe in using the first name occasionally, not always, in creative ways. Like sometimes I'll say a totally John business or a business that screams John.
Yeah.
Right? So doing that in a creative way, but no like comma John or comma John. So none of that. So that's something that probably was working at first a lot and now I think is dead in the water. What I hope is, my prediction is really a hope. And the hope is that going forward, I written stuff, I slop, which is everywhere. And in the emails of people whose writing I really respect normally, like talented writers using AI slop. And that is so obvious, so detectable, so the same as everything else I read. Same cadence, same words, quietly, not this, not that, just that. My hope is that that is going to be less and less popular, more and more recognizable to lay people who are not familiar with it and who, like at this point, don't really know that they're seeing AI. They just think it sounds clean and maybe poetic. My hope is that maybe even there will be, I doubt it because it'll probably be a conflict of interest, but maybe there will even be a filter in email that catches it, like in Gmail that sends it to spam. But I don't see that happening. And even if it does happen, I see it backfiring because right now, if you run something through AI to find out whether it's written by AI, its answer is almost always false. Like it thinks things that are written by a human are written by AI. So actually I don't hope for that, but I do hope that people reject it more and more.
Yeah.
The pendulum swings way back. It's already on that swing. I know that Gen Z is rejecting AI. They think it's gross. It's a turnoff to them. Those of us and authors reject AI. And I think that more and more lay people whose inboxes you want to be in are going to see it and say, no, turn off, delete, or unsubscribe.
Yeah. And it's such a funny thing, like even because both of those things that you said, like where people are using the first name and then, X, Y, and Z. And then even with the AI stuff, I always think if I was talking to someone, if I was down the pub or we're in a bar somewhere, I would never be like, hey, did you watch this so-and-so, Laura? Like I wouldn't talk like that. It's not a normal fluid way of communicating. So why then, it's such an odd thing.
I'll tell you who does it constantly is the US's Vice President, JD Vance. It is the most condescending, annoying thing you can imagine. I mean, he has all the charisma of like a dirty sponge, but It's when he's in a debate or being interviewed. Well, first of all, Margaret, well, here's the thing, Margaret, over and over and over. And it's just, well, so no, it's not a natural thing to do. And he's not a human who knows how to be. So there's your point. Like, there's proof.
Yeah. And I feel as well, particularly for the creative people like you see there that have almost either dabbled in AI, whether that's to save them time or whatever that is, you lose so much of the thinking process so you need to be able to like work out, like, you know, if whatever you're sending, you want to understand that email, you want to understand the topic, and then it's in the failures of like, that doesn't sound right. What am I getting to? What am I getting at? Rather than, can you make this sound more? There's something in the nature of human that is being removed from that.
Absolutely. Well, there's many things. Like the act of writing is thinking is part of that, or the act of writing is part of thinking. You know, it helps you process your thoughts and come up with what you think. You don't know what you think until you've written it. And there's so much that AI cannot do with writing that you can. It can't insert your details, like your specifics. And these are like concrete details are what make writing gripping, compelling, interesting to read, and keeps us from skimming over it. So AI gives you the most generic, sanitized version of anything that you might have to say. And it says it in the same cadence over and over and over, the same cadence as everyone else, the same length sentences, same spacing, so that never, if you use AI, like never is your writing that used AI going to sound like it was written by you. It's never going to sound like something you would say. And it can be mistaken for something you would say if somebody knows the context, like they're reading so-and-so's email and it's all written by AI, they might just assume it's that person's voice and hear it in that person's voice for now. That's if they don't recognize AI's patterns. Eventually, they're going to see that it's AI completely.
Yeah. And I think you see, like, we'd definitely seen, like you said there, where people used to use the first name and it used to work really well. I think people came to understand a lot more about like marketing methods. So they're way more aware of like, right, okay, this is a marketing email. And I think the same's going with AI. Like people are like, okay, now they've seen so much of it everywhere. They're already feeling like, okay, I can just tell this has just been shoved through some sort of platform. And yeah, I think.
And the whole name of the game in standing out is pattern interrupt, right?
Yeah.
So if you're using AI, it has the same patterns every time. It's not capable of pattern interrupt. It's not capable of originality. So you're never going to achieve that. You're going to lose attention rather than getting it.
So our next one, we're back in the points now. So you got to switch on. Joking. So, okay. So we are on to higher or lower, guess the open rate. So within this segment here, it's very simple. I'm going to show you some subject lines. You have to guess if it is higher or lower than the previous one. For everyone you get correct, you get a point. Obviously, if you don't get it, you don't get any points. We're going to go through with 5 subject lines. It sounds easy, but when you know email marketing and you don't have any context of the list, if they're engaged, if they've even emailed them, makes this very, very difficult. So I'm going to start with the first one, Laura. So the first one that I have is, what tickles your fancy? So this subject line had an open rate of 59.9%. So I'm going to read the next one and you're going to tell me if you think it's higher or lower. So this one is, let me say it again. The next one is, if you're worried about coming alone.
I think higher.
So you're saying that's higher than 59.9?
I'm saying it's higher than what tickles your fancy. Is this from the same person?
This one is from the same person, actually. Yes, it is.
And same population, same segment, same number of...
Same segment.
Yeah. Well, I'm guessing that I'm wrong about this one, but I would open if you're worried about coming alone before I opened what tickles your fancy.
So that one is lower. That one came in at 47.6% open rate. Okay, so the next one then, so higher or lower than 47.6 is I'm being a nosy girl.
Oh, so okay, so this is in the same sequence, same
Same
person.
sequence.
Okay.
So now you're going against the previous
Now I'm going
one.
against the previous ones. Say it again. What
I'm
is it?
being a nosy girl.
Being a nosy girl. Higher.
That is higher. It's 62.9% open rate. So that is 1 point so far. Okay. So next one, is this higher or lower than I'm being a nosy girl? I was so lonely for so long.
I think it's higher.
It's lower. 61%. Only 1% in that one. Only 1% in it. Okay, so 1 point so far. Where's the other one? Hang on. Okay, so this one is your stereotypical. You would have definitely seen this subject line somewhere. Okay, so I was so lonely for so long was 61%. The next one is it's not the size that matters. And I must add, it has the little aubergine at the end.
I'm going to guess higher.
It's lower.
There you go.
56.9%. It's really tough though. Like it's really hard when you don't know any context of lists here at all. So I'll give you some. So for example, there were 3 emails that came from one list that was 17,000 and the other came from another email list that was 12,500. So a bit of a mix and 2 different completely fields. But
okay, so wait, the first 3 were from the first person?
The first 2, so worried about coming alone and tickles your fancy was from the 17,000 list. Being a nosy girl and not the size that matters came from the 12,000 list. And then the lonely one was the other one. Yeah.
Right. So if I were editing these, obviously I'm not a good guesser because I would say what tickles your fancy. Not a fan. It just doesn't have any edge to it.
Yeah.
Even though the words like tickles that might pop out in the inbox, but to me, that's no edge. Nosy, that one always will get an open. It's not the size that matters. I would guess high because even though it's a little bit of an eye roller, like, oh God, is this is this a D joke? Still, I would want to see what it was. Even if I wasn't like, ooh, it sounds great, sounds really interesting. I still sometimes open things to see, okay, what is this?
I love that. It's so good. On to our next segment then. So this is very simple. I am going to ask you, Laura, 10 questions, really easy, basic questions, but there is a trick at hand. You can only give me the answer of the previous question. If you can make it throughout the segment, there are 10 points to play here. 10 points to play, so you could really be bumping yourself up. This does melt the brain. I'm not going to lie, it does. And it does for me asking as well, because I even forget what the answer should have been. However, we're going to see how this goes. I won't even ask if you're ready, because I know you're not.
Okay. No, of course not.
Okay. Question number 1, what is your name? Question 2, what's the name of your book?
Laura Belgray.
Question 3, what's the name of your business?
Tough Titties.
Question 4, who is the host of this show?
Talking Shrimp.
Question 5, who is the greatest email marketer in the world?
John McKee.
Question 6, what city do you live in?
Laura Belgray. Laura effing Belgray. Go ahead.
Don't you fucking forget it. Question 7, what's the full title of your book?
New York City.
Question 8, what's your husband's favorite restaurant?
Tough Titties, on living your best life when you're the effing worst.
Question number 9, what is the size of your current email list?
Brat in London.
Question 10, what is 10 plus 10?
Around 38,000.
Congratulations, you made it through unscathed. Well, I'd say unscathed, maybe a few. You did score maximum of 10 points. You managed to get through. I'm really impressed.
Unbelievable. Okay, I don't have dementia. That's a win.
Listen, we can do this as an annual test. You can tell your practitioner you're all...
Or like Trump, we could do it every day.
Twice. So, on to how well do you know yourself? We've done our research beforehand. We are simply going to quiz you on any of the things you've said, done, been anywhere in the world, on the internet, and hopefully you're not going to get anything wrong because you should know yourself. Okay, so let's time to find out how well does Laura Belgray know Laura
Hopefully.
Belgray. Question number 1. Your first real job after bartending was fact-checking for a book. What was the book called?
Lisa Birnbach's Guide to Colleges.
That's correct. Question number 2. When you got into writing for TV promos because a friend told you, what was your friend's name?
My friend's name was...
It doesn't have to be surname.
What? It was Adam.
Adam. Yeah, correct.
Yes.
According to your website, you speak 3 languages other than English. What are they?
Spanish, Italian, and a little bit of ancient Greek.
Yes, nice. That's nice. Okay. You lived in New York your entire life except for one period. When was that, or what was that for?
That was during college when I lived in Connecticut, Middletown, Connecticut.
Nice. Okay. And last question. Your business hit $1 million in revenue in what milestone year of your life?
Age 50, my 50th year.
Amazing. 5 points out of 5. Absolutely
Sweet.
flying. You are tied with Kennedy, top of the leaderboard, 26-26.
Are we saying everybody tanked on the subject lines?
Yeah, everybody tanked on. So this is the part that probably most people have tuned in for, is to see if someone's going to chuck a bucket of Gunge on my head. So this is Gunge or Goat. Very simple. I'm going to ask you 5 questions. You have been put under some scrutiny throughout this session, and now it's your turn to get a little bit back on me. All you have to do is answer these 5 questions. You get all 5 correct, and that bucket gets chucked on my head. But get one wrong, and I will be safe through until the final contestant comes in. Are you ready, Laura?
I am ready.
Okay. What does CTA stand for?
Call to action.
What year did you co-create the Copy Cure with Maria?
Marie, 2015.
True or false, the Talking Shrimp name came because you wanted something that could apply to food and copywriting?
True.
What is the name of your group coaching program?
Shrimp Club.
Okay. This is the big question. God. This is multiple choice. I'm going to give you 3 options. How many emails are sent worldwide per day? So is it A, 250 billion, B, 350 billion, or C, 450 billion?
I am going to with B. Oh, no.
That is correct. That is correct.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get it right.
Yes, you did. Don't act like you didn't.
I did.
Okay,
I did.
right. Laura, thank you so much. It turns out you are one of the people to get me gunged. Maybe.
Really my honor.
Yeah. Great.
I
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Oh, that is cold. That is cold. Laura, I really, really hope you're pleased with yourself.
I really am. I hope that doesn't stain. Well,
What a performance from you today, Laura. Like, you were every bit as good as I just thought you would be. You scored 26 points, which puts you joint leader with Kennedy, which is absolutely phenomenal. We may have to send, if we get to another, if we have a tie again, I guess at the end, we may have to send 2 GOAT trophies. It is the most ridiculous trophy, but I guarantee it's going to look the best on your shelf. Yeah, if you have enjoyed today, please hit that subscribe button below. This series has been sponsored by Active Campaign. Laura, anything you would say to someone potentially looking in at this show, or anything you want to add?
Get with email if you're not already. Build that list, email, send more emails than you think you should, and answer all the questions right so we can gunge up our darling host once again.
Until next time, I'm John McKee. This has been my fun house. Thank you so much.